Mous versus Ence. A clash of titans, some might say, wherein which the battle of the spams will be on. Spam this Mous to help Mous, and something about easy for Ence. That is the story that you undoubtedly know, and we here at the desk will try to make better sense of analytically to raise your level of smartness. Of course, that is going to be Thorn and Pimp and the creaky ship that I'm riding right now. Guys, looking ahead of this matchup, anything that you'd like to preface it with?
We actually obviously saw this match in the past. This was one of the games that put the Ence team on the map, as it were, when they were at ESL 1 Cologne. This was the exact same lineup. Obviously, it was very early in the history of that lineup. Mousesports hopefully has improved since then. They won a massive event. So I think you'd find the two teams back in a similar position, actually. Ence, again, like the kind of goodwill from that result has worn off since then. They've been in some smaller tournaments, haven't done that great. They've done okay generally. Haven't actually developed into the top team they hoped they would be. Mousesports actually finally is in the winning ways, so if Ence is going to upset them now, it'll be the same story all over again, I think.
It'll be the same story all over again. I definitely agree with you. I'm looking forward to see Mousesports, what they can do against a well-playing Ence teams, because I feel what we saw at New York, it may not have been a fluke, but it was the first time we saw this Mous lineup with Snacks on the lineup actually doing well. We saw them at Masters not doing too well. We saw them at the Major not doing too well, so it has been a little bit disappointing for Mousesports so far. But finally at New York, they made a good show for themselves. So can they pick that up now and continue on the winning ways? That's going to be interesting to see.
Both these teams vying for that easier path into the playoffs. Of course, this is one of those games where no one gets sent home. However, they do get sent onward onto Friday. Now, Mous and Ence are our only 2-0 remaining teams, and you can take a look here on this chart. We have sent Sprout and Complexity packing. Perhaps they could spend some time together the rest of today and this weekend here in Kiev.
And I think they will. I think Mousesports is one of the favorites going into this one. I feel when you look at the Ence lineup, there's a lot of potential. They have the highest rated player at the tournament so far as well in Sergey, as we mentioned before. He's a 16-year-old young Finnish kid who's just good at shooting Counter-Strike people. Whereas for Mousesports, it's a little bit more in-depth. You know, they have the lineup, they have Snacks, who's basically a legend of the game. They have Oscar, who used to be one of the best AV players in the world. We haven't really seen the same level for quite some time. So when you look at the potential of both teams, there's definitely more to come. I think, though, that said, the Mousesports are the heavy favorites going into this one, and they should be able to clinch a win against a team like Ence.
Yeah, for me, to beat Mousesports, you either have to have more firepower, which is a very, very tough ask, to be honest. Even when they're not on their game, it's still, I mean, it's legitimately a team in which now you actually have 5 players who
one of the best in the world,
real fragging potential. Yeah, it's very, very good in that respect. But the downside is they don't have the greatest team play, you know. They're not a very super deep tactical team. They kind of like play to their strengths where they can. Obviously, they've got some very good players. So to me, if I look at the Ence side, one of the big positives for Ence is they are very, very active as a team. They're playing a lot of online games. They're going to some of these smaller lands. So if they've got real good chemistry, if they have good team play, that gives you a chance in the game because, sure, they have some firepower, but it's definitely not as reliable as the Mousesports.
Now, I've said it a few times here about Mousesports, but I feel like we could also say it just about every time until something changes. Throughout the coaching staff, throughout the players, we don't have a real loud, boisterous guy saying, oh, you know, let's go take charge. There's not really that sort of a vibe you get from them. Whereas you throw someone like Nothing in the spanner in Brazil, and it's a totally different mindset. They all seem very loose, they all seem very open, and they thrive there for what it's worth. But at least in this Mouse Sports lineup, they do seemingly have that individual firepower. However, I think they've also cited some communication issues when it comes down to a Snacks joining the team or just how things work on the inside of that.
Yeah, I think that was a super interesting interview Sonny did with, I think it was HLTV maybe, where he spoke a little bit about how the communication issues were affecting Mouse Sports. It's not that Snacks is not good at communicating, it was more that they needed the translator basically in the communication. They needed the extra guy in Stiku he was mentioned as being the guy who was talking for other players, and that's a normal thing within Counter-Strike, maybe not something we would talk too much about, but that's how it works in all the teams. When you're live when you're dead and you're watching a guy who's alive who's super pressured or may not be the best communication guy on your team, you want to translate for him. You want to tell him or tell the other mates who's alive with him what he can do and what he is doing, and that's the player they need right now. That's like next level communication. That's why teams like MIBR, Astralis and all those kind of teams, at least when they had the full Brazilian lineup, were so good at adapting mid-round because they were all communicating all the time, not even for themselves only, but also for each other. And that's that's when you get your communication from being just good and just decent to the next level where you can actually win rounds based on the fact that you have a guy translating for other players who is alive on the server.
Let's talk about maps. At this point, yes, it is time to dive into who will be ultimately getting the last say here and the final laugh and what could be a great start in the right direction. Where do we see this one landing in a best one?
I mean, there's only 3 maps left. The thing is, when you saw the stats for the Ence team, they literally play all the maps that Mouse Sports plays. Like, their best maps are like Train, Dust 2, Nuke. I think Mirage is maybe in there. I actually think, bearing in mind it's Mouse Sports who don't have the pick now, they might have blown this because I think Ence has done exactly the right thing here by putting it to Mirage. Because I know in your brain you always think, Mouse Sports, Mirage. You don't want to take that against them. First of all, it was their Mirage falling off heavily when they had Stickle that actually forced them into changes. Because what's the one role everyone remembers Stickle getting exploited in? Playing B on bomb site on Mirage. Then with Snacks in the lineup, they've been pretty woeful. Like, look at these results here. They've got, like, okay, some wins recently, but 53% overall in the last 3 months. Like, this is a map they've played quite a lot. Then you look on the other side of the equation, sure, much worse opponents, but in terms of like comfort level, Ence absolutely are up there to play this map.
The only problem I see in the fact they're playing Mirage is that Ence have gotten 3 rounds the past 2 times they played it, right? That's not impressive, especially considering those 2 teams they're playing against. So it's not a map they feel super comfortable on. So I'm actually a little bit surprised they didn't vouch to go for Dust 2 instead, which is a more open map and is a more momentum-based map. So if you feel like the underdog, you would probably rather play Dust 2 than you would play Mirage, even against the Mouse Sports, as you said, who haven't been too consistent on the map lately.
I think it's just one of those things where sometimes at night when I can't fall asleep, I'll just grab my box of memories. Probably in more like a pale candlelight sort of setting. Brings back those memories of time when Sonny and Alu played on that team with that Xarte guy, you know?
Yeah.
He was anchoring B-side all alone. I guess glory will never be forgotten, Pimp.
I guess you're right, Trace.
Indeed. And again, a knife round upon us. Duncan, analyze this knife round.
Don't care about knives, don't care about rounds.
Cool, man.
Just here for the game.
All right. Well, the game.
Hardcore purist for CS.
Hardcore purist.
Exactly. For CS.
Yeah, let's make sure we.
Yeah. In this context, at least.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all you, bud. Anyway, knife round is complete. Of course, LootBet, the partners of Star Ladder and Star Series Season 6. Make sure you use code SLTV over there to get your guesses in, as we would like to call them, but your bets if you're on that side of life, I suppose. Who would you guys be edging towards, dare I say? Let's not full on prediction.
Well, I mean,
yet,
technically, depending on what the odds are, this is not a bad one if you get nice odds for Ence. Mouse have just won a big tournament. I'm guessing they'll be heavily favoured. So the underdog's probably actually a decent bet here. They've got a chance to, the half-decent map. In terms of the actual victory, though, I'm going to heavily say Mouse Sports for this one. I wanted this to be a hype matchup. I wanted to believe in it, but I actually think, especially when I think of like recent Mouse Sports performances, I think the firepower is where the big difference is here. Like, I'm not a really big believer in a bunch of the Ence players.
I'm a believer in spamming Twitch chat, which is exactly what you're doing already. So you might as well just throw in there your vote for this matchup and who you think is going to win. Is it going to be hashtag Ence? Don't put easy for Ence, that won't count. Or hashtag Mous. What are you typing, Jacob?
I mean, I would go with the hashtag Mous. I feel when you look at the lineup, when you look at the players as well, the only one who can go toe-to-toe with Alu is Oscar on the server, and nobody from Ence is going to go toe-to-toe against Sonny and Mirage. I think he is, if you have to highlight one player to look out for, you got to look out for Sonny. He's, to my understanding, probably the best, if not one of the best, at least, players on Mirage individually. He's always showing up on Mirage. He's already putting in the numbers, always consistently performing on Mirage, sort of like Crims were back in the days for Fnatic, being this anchor around connector. So you don't really really go up towards A side against Mousesports unless you want to face Sunny. And who from Ence is going to stop him? Sergey, you're 16 years old. I don't believe you have it in you yet. Maybe in the future, but for me, it's going to be a clear Mouse card win.
Clear Mousesports for Pimp, and of course, I'm going to have to ask you one more time, Duncan, just for the sake of...
Yes, I'm going to say Mousesports. Like, in a world one day where maybe they're good enough, Sonny comes back, they've got him play, yeah, then we can talk about Ence. At the moment, it's not the right time for them.
And Sonny is a monster, not to be confused with Lobster, which is what that hairy guy said once about Ustillo. So I think this is going to have to go the route of Mousesports, just because I can't go against you guys. I have to sit here with you, so... To me, that makes the only sense. And either
Does he do that when he goes to, like, seafood restaurants? This is a lobster bomb.
You still lose a lobster, Tom. Anyway, it's time for Tom and Hugo to take this one away and get us into this matchup, where in which it will be a best of one between the likes of Ence and Mous.
Nice catchphrase.
I think that impression was bang on, to be fair. I think that's exactly how it was in the game. Obviously, you still a monster. Still a monster.
Still a lobster?
That was never the phrase, but sure, why not? Sure, why not? Either way, we are going to be going into this one fairly shortly. I am firmly with Mousesports here, although I think that coming off the back of a tournament thing, they were a bit of a slow starting team. And I do think that in terms of matches they've had, it's been fairly easy so far. Like, they're not in terms of the results. Well, the second one was.
Yeah.
But in terms of the two teams they got Sprout, a team who definitely, I think, even though they probably should have won a game somewhere, they definitely showed that they were a team to face, and they actually proved themselves quite well throughout this tournament. Even though they didn't win a map, I think they played well. At the same time, they were one of the teams that were sort of lower down the picking order. Then they had CyberZen, who is the lowest. I don't think there's any argument there. They're the team that we pretty much expected to go 0-3 and managed to just get a sort of surprising victory versus Renegades in the early stages. Now they actually have what I would say is their first proper challenge.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested to see where they step up, because so far they've been at completely different ends of the scale. Well, I don't know, actually, because they had the really dominating first half like they did versus CyberZen, except in the game versus CyberZen, they finished it. Which here, if they just start the way they have in every other match, it's done.
I'm just going to say it. I'm jumping on the Ence train for this one. I know you know that I'm a big Ence supporter. I always have been. I like my finish.
Still scared of Natu. He's actually turned up, so now you're doubly scared.
Yeah, I've been keeping my head down. You know, keeping my distance. Don't want to get caught out. No, I'm definitely. I definitely feel the upset potential of all the games. Yes, okay, you do have the favorites of the entire event here, but again, it's not like Mous have been unbeatable. Maybe in this event, but in terms of, as you said, scoreline, it's not been as clean, at least in that Sprout game. So yeah, this was again at one point Mous were the best Mirage team in the world. At the end of last year, they kind of started that streak, and without a doubt that kept on for a while. But that's definitely fallen off. And I feel like Ence are a team that have done their prep coming into this game. They have got Daddy Natu after all, but we're into this.
Is that what you call him?
I'll save that for later. Straight into the pistol, and Ali's finding first blood. Ence, they are going for the A play, but Mousesports are playing retake. Unfortunately, with a mandate advantage, playing retake is never easy. Ariel's on 1,000 sensitivity, and he's gone into the CT spawn. Maybe getting flashed into this one as well. Alexaby does have one left if they want to get aggressive, but the bomb's been planted, the nade's landing not too well, and Mous is set up for a 4v5.
They're already looking to try and take this one from CT, but look how many players the T's have. They're ready and waiting for this one. Flashbang going to be going through. They've timed it very well, and Robs goes down, but it's going to be a quick couple of trades. Oscar needs this kill and is actually left on to just Sunny. He is versus his fellow countrymen to try and put them down early on, but this seems like a nigh-on impossible scenario. We'll just be waiting over towards this connector area. May just hope to try and hold on to his Kevlar. It's a strong start for Ence. They will be getting themselves that pistol round. And Sunny, yeah, all he really does is hold on to that little bit of extra Kevlar.
Well, Tom, you didn't give me your official prediction, but forget the pistol round. Forget you ever saw it. Are you going with Mous?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think the majority of people will. I just, yeah.
I think there's definite potential here for Ence. Like, I don't think Mousesports have been at their best. Like, I think just after that first match, it definitely was a bit, like, they were a bit shaken. And I think the Ence are definitely a better opponent than anyone they've faced so far. So I think they've come into this one very well prepared, and I obviously this is just me guessing. I don't really know, but I don't think Mouse Sports are going to be taking a lot of teams in this tournament seriously. I think they're going to go into this, try and win it in like the Puggy style, as well, rightly so. They've just won themselves a tournament. They should be going into this thinking, well, there's not even anybody here that we shouldn't be able to beat just by playing like our B game.
Yeah, if you win New York, you're not prepping for underdogs, right, coming into your next event. So I definitely agree with that one, and that's, I think, where Ence kind of have the lead in some sense. Again, Mirage, the most played map for both these teams, so it's not like we're going to be on unfamiliar ground, whereas some of these maps we've had some surprise. You know, we had big on Cash today, we had we've had some interesting ones, whereas this is definitely going to be a blinder of a game. Chris J, he's making some noise. Alexis B doesn't want to give away his position because he actually crept underneath Chris J's sight, and they're close in the connector. So Molotov pushing Chris forward, and he's so low. Nice nade. But it won't take that much as they move away in the nick of time. Chris finished off. Oscar dead on the ramp. And Mousesports, despite the force so far, it's seeming unsuccessful.
Rob's just completely caught out, and they do have a bit of money being saved. I am questioning whether we'll just see a double AWP setup straight in off the bat. I think that's so scary at the moment. Like, we saw pretty much the best Chris J in New York. Like, that was an unbelievable performance coming out from him there. And I think definitely in terms of big game performances, we do see Chris J show up a lot of the time. The problem is, that as we were basically just alluding to, this is not a big game for Mousesports. Like, let's be real. This is not one that's going to make or break their career. No. Whereas on the other side of things, for Ence, this is a tournament where they have a good opportunity to win a big chunk of change and actually really start building themselves into the higher tiers of CS. So I think it's going to be interesting.
I remember back to the Invitational, Star Ladder Invitational last year in China, in Shanghai. We were there. We had Harvu with oh God, look at this. We'll get back to this because this is although full USP is a bit of a beating from Mousesports. But yeah, I guess we can finish this point. It is only an Antico. We had Harvu there with a couple of players. They had obviously Sergey, the young gun, on your screens now. And I was hoping for a lot from them at that point because Harvu qualified for that event. They were looking really good locally, online, etc. They won like the 3 Finnish lands that week, or the 3 like Nordic lands that week. And we were expecting a lot from them. And they had like a really long overtime game versus one of the Chinese teams like Flash or someone. And then they had a couple of awful, like really close losses, and then that team kind of just dropped off for ages. So it was a bit of a shame to see the disappearance of those guys there.
Well, he actually took a break.
Yeah, yeah, it was after he kind of left Harvu.
Break time.
Yeah, and
look at him now though.
Not coming back until he hit this team. But yeah, 8-0 in this game. Ence are off to a stunning start, but we are early days, Tom. And as you called, Oscar and Chris J coming in with that double AWP straight into the first buy round is going to be a bit of a threat.
Yeah, I think Oscar definitely been a little bit underwhelming recently. Obviously, they're stepping up a bit more towards New York, but when this double AWP setup is at its best, I think they've got probably the scariest in the world. Like, it's a ridiculous AWP setup. Either way, it is going to be a fast push coming in towards the B side. A bit of a bonus round being thrown in with an AWP given over to Alu. And well, we'll see if his 1 AWP is better than 2. Of course, in a retake scenario, normally you'd say yes. This is not going to be easy for Mousesports to actually get back in here. The faster play from Ence. There's been no deaths yet. Already, though, Snacks and Sunny, and another from Snacks, will already be able to find the kills needed to bring this back into a 4 versus 2 situation. This is going to be tough. Alu on the AWP. There's a chance he hits the leg. That's unlucky. They do have the Molotov for the bomb, and actually, there isn't a kit, and there isn't a smoke.
They could win this from time alone. Snacks is going to try and push, but he's the low player. That's a questionable decision. Someone needs to get on this defuse right now. And there's a spot from Sergey. He tries to stop the bomb diffuser, but Rops is still on it. He's defusing. He's almost done, but the bomb, it's ticking so low.
He's just about got it. That was so unbelievably close. Just the Molotov at the end was almost enough. Like, well, as you could see by the amount of time that was left on the clock, just a tick longer. And that would have been it. Still, Mousesports' favorite, but I think those odds are fairly reasonable considering that Ence are the underdog here. Thorin was talking about the chance for good odds here. Not particularly. Like, those are really close. Their logo is sick as well.
I know, right? This is live odds, and they are 3-1 up.
Yeah,
so that's taking some effect. I imagine they were different 4 rounds ago, but yeah, early days, early days. Let's just see if Mousesports can keep this one going, because again, the round on the board, Ence can always get this reset. Oscar. Oh, actually, forget Oscar. Look at Alu. He's already in B. He's deep. Scope would have been heard from Chris J up on short, so Snack should be careful with his peak. But I think he's boosted on top of that box as well on the site, so it's not a huge worry right now as the rest of Ence are set up for this A play. And again, it's very, very uncommon to have an AWP lurk, and that's why we had Mousesports draw a third player early towards B. Instead, it's just going to be that fast A play from Ence, and Ropsy's here. Oscar's already started off with the AWP. The smokes are down, but Mousesports, they're still open in the CT spawn. They can do damage. Rob's forced out by the Molotov. Good shot from Alexiv, but Sunny trades things back. Keeping Mousesports in the man advantage by 2 is Oscar.
Okay, jump down. It will be Sunny put out. Is giving away back into this one. Hello. To do something with the AWP, but Oscar is looking excellent already. 3 kills for him. Alexiv so low on health, he's just going to retrieve the AWP and try and reposition to find another way into the round. And he is going to go over towards the Palace. Now, there is a little bit of extra money in the Ence pockets. They did so well with those SMGs in the early rounds that saving an AWP here may actually not be the worst case.
Ooh. Oh, that's so unfortunate. That could have been a kill there for Alexiv, but with 25 seconds and only the tag, he's going to walk to his death. Nice shot from Oscar. And you kind of, yeah, you said, you know, he's been a little bit, not lackluster, but fallen off from what we know he can
well,
be.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like lackluster for Oscar is still better than a lot of players, but that's
it's kind
not
of like
winning tournaments.
It's kind of like the Hellraisers thing recently. Like, you know, before the game we saw earlier where Woxic almost dropped 40 kills. Forget that game. You know, this event he's been playing fine. He's been getting like 20 kills a game, but we kind of needed more from him.
Yeah, well, the Woxic in this event, I wouldn't say the same for Oscar in this event, but I mean, just like up until like New York, it was sort of one of those things where he definitely wasn't himself, and in these sort of situations, he just should be able to just style on the teams that he's playing against. Like, he should be far and above one of the best players in the server, so the only others should be on his team.
It's very rare to see 3 buy rounds in a row after losing 2.
Yeah.
So Ence have done a good job of actually having a lot of economy here, but the problem is Sunny, he's just wanting to beat upon his Finnish brethren.
Well, you're not the only one who thinks that, because Rops actually has an SMG and Chris J has 6 grand. So it's obviously, it was a tactical choice maybe to make some extra cash, and instead they clearly didn't expect it either to have a buy coming into this. The fact is though, if they could then win this without, well, if they can win this, they'll just have a load of extra cash anyway because they didn't have to buy him a rifle. Either way, he is playing in dark. Now, as long as nobody comes through the connector, he'll have a lot of close-range battles, which for this MP7 is going to be absolutely fine. We've seen a lot of players switch over to the MP5. I do feel like a lot of them are probably just trying it out in competitive play, and I think we'll probably get more of a balance. But, well, Sergey, waiting patiently, will be able to execute Romps. Turn it back into a 4 versus 3 versus 3 even, as both players hit AWP shots, and as Oscar goes for something a little bit audacious, he leaves Sunny out to dry with low HP, but he still manages to get a kill and pick up the AWP.
Well, there's the round. Ence winning every battle on that A bomb site, it seems. Nice work from Sergey.
Money.
Huh?
Money.
Yeah, well, there it is, broken. Only Chris J and Oscar able to afford.
Oh, do they? Yeah.
Oh, this is the buy I wanted. Like, a lot of teams here in this situation, they drop 2 guns over and they have 4 rifles and an SMG. Nope, not Mousesports. They buy 2 AWPs instead and drop snacks and MP5. I'm not even against this. This is a good buy. I think they even drop Rops actually rather than snacks, but it doesn't matter. Problem is, if Ence go for another one of these quick B executes, this could be a direct counter to the weaponry Mousesports have in this round. Not if Chris J can open things up though, but does he expect the pace? 7 is already pushed all the way up, and there's Chris J spotting it. He only sees 1, falls back, but he's blinded. Great utility usage from Ence so far, and the short smoked off. Chris can't hit a shot. He needs to now, but Ariel's denied him. Snacks on the site, hiding. The sneaky beaky we know he can be, but Alexiv finished him off, and Sunny is hiding in his own smoke. Won't be able to stand the test of time or the test of 7. There's now in a 4v2. This bomb is down.
Yeah, great break back from Ence, and the strategy called will be enough to ruin this round for Mousesports. And yeah, one of the sort of players highlighted doing so well at New York, Chris J. 0 and 5 at the moment. Didn't connect a single shot over on the B site, and well, that gave so much space over to Ence to just overwhelm everyone else. Obviously, Snacks only with an SMG. I am not surprised in the slightest that Snacks is using the silenced SMG.
Of course.
Like, I'd be very surprised if there was anything else in his hand, but yeah, obviously a little bit too much for him to do there, and they are just going to save what they can. Now, bear in mind, in the next round, we will still be a buyback up, and Oscar, always a man who can take over a round. So just him having an AWP will be a little bit of fear put into the hearts of Ence.
And talking of taking over a round, well, Sergey is taking over this map. 11 and 2 right now on the young player of Ence. That is a phenomenal start, especially considering, as you said, you know, he did drop out of the pro scene for a little bit of time after that stint with Havu. Now he's back with a full finish roster that really seems to be making waves right now. Mousesports, another, well, you could call it an eco, but again, they have got that saved AWP, so not one you should completely look over if you are Ence coming into this round. You have to remain aware of these saved weapons from the side of Mousesports, and that's why we're going to see a short tactical pause.
Mousesports. I want to see how they're going to set Oscar up here, because like he's actually invested a little bit extra now. Going into the next round, he'll have pretty much the bare minimum rifle buy if they don't go for like an extra sort of eco round, but I'd be quite surprised if they did. A chance for another AWP for him is pretty much impossible unless Snacks is going to buy one and go glass cannon rifle, which you just don't do. You just don't do. Either way, Snacks, aggression. Now he only has a USP. He's more of just info man, trying to find something a little bit extra. They boosted up Oscar as well onto short, so he'll have a very quick rotation. Well, the question is this sneak in towards the jungle gonna pay dividends? Oh, this is a big problem for Mousesports.
And that's why they've slowed down. They were going to commit to a quick B play, but with this flank from Alexa B being successful and him bypassing Sunny in the window, he's now sneaking in. He's actually being flanked. Sunny's coming in from the back line. Alexa B's going to spin back around, but he's cornered between two. Sunny finishes it off, and this time it's Oscar with the AWP, not with Chris J on this B site. He needs to hit some big shots, but he has started off. Sergey going down as well. Nice work from Oscar. He is shutting down this Ence push one player at a time, and there's a third. Oscar is making it work. You only need an AWP for the side of Mousesports, and they'll get the job done. 3 rounds off the back of nothing. Dear, oh dear.
I think Oscar almost smiled there. That's dangerous. I think the world might end if that happens. But yeah, no, just it's just the Oscar factor. Like when he's playing well, you can't give him this many opportunities. You basically have to sacrifice a man just to make sure that the other can trade him. And you give him individual fights like this, he won't miss. That flick was lovely. And well, we now go into what is another buy round. Ence really are doing well at least keeping buys on the table, keeping pressure on Mousesports. But if they lose this round, that pressure will be off at least for a moment.
But the top mid climb from Sunny, we see this a lot from the side of Mousesports. And Aerial, he's more than ready for it. Let's take him down with a UMP. That's a gun upgrade if he can get out into middle, but that's easier said than done. Look at Chris J. He's pushed down short. Will eventually decide to back off, so giving Ence the free room in middle, but they won't be too keen on taking it. Aerial can late split that connector if he wants to. Instead, he's actually going to wrap back through the spawn and just go join his team for this A commitment. It's Rop's playing CT, and Mousesports fairly committed to be here, and I don't blame them with the amounts Ence have been testing this site. Oscar is going to have a position to rotate out of window and support this jungle peak to try and cut Sergey off if Mousesports don't, if Ence don't smoke him, but that's exactly what they're going to do. Utility going over the top of the site, and now it's likely we're just going to see a retake setup here. I'm not sure if we even have a CT smoke, so Rops is going to be very open to actually doing some damage.
Sat at the back of sights. Chris J still yet to get a kill on the board. He's got an AWP back in his hand, but the shots through the smoke won't put him onto the scoreboard at all. Oscar almost catching one as he fades away. Aerial already low on 30 HP, and while Chris J is going to join the British Secret Service, at least for now, we are going to see Snacks looking to try and sneak back in, but X7 just clinical to take him out of action. And while with an extra bit of money over on the Mousesports side, thanks to winning a round off an AWP, saving these couple of weapons could actually be hugely valuable for them going for a buy in the next round. So they are just going to opt to push into CT spawn. Ence are going to get their 6th on the T side, and they really are giving Mousesports a run for their money.
Yeah, it's important Mouse save these guns. Again, we've already seen them win it with just a saved AWP and a SMG, so definitely worth its while saving weapons here, and Ence aren't chasing. We've actually seen far more and more teams Molotov the CT spawn on this map rather than go for the smoke, and I'm interested to know why that is. Again, maybe saving your smokes for the post plant, maybe trying to stop the fact that people abuse the smoke and jump on top of it, play ticket, and just get really annoying. If you put a Molotov there, no one's climbing on top of that back box.
Because if the smoke is there And even if it's like slightly off, it can give you a ridiculous one-way above the top.
And if you're trying to plant triple, for example, and there's a smoke, it's so easy to shoot through the smoke and stop a bomb plant on triple, default, wherever. The lineup's so easy to just guess from sound. Like, you can just hear where they're planting it in this game. So, yeah, that Molotov just completely denies any peek. And by that point, you typically have the Ts that are right by the triple box, ready to flash into the CT spawn to get aggressive. And that's what Ence have at least been doing earlier on.
Well, you've answered your own question, Hugo.
Yeah. I'm just theorizing.
I'm just fine. Either way, it is going to be a tactical pause called in from Ence, not wanting to have this reset brought back onto them. Now, there's still that AWP in play, and there was plenty of money actually to purchase down. Rops could have bought another AWP for Chris J if he so desired, but it has been a very quiet start, and not just for Chris J. Like, you've got to notice that Rops himself has only got a single frag at the moment.
Wow.
It's only really Oscar leading the way, and everybody else has been struggling a little bit. We come to expect more from this team. Double up setup will be in once again, so even though it hasn't been going well for Chris, they definitely don't doubt his abilities.
And the fast mid play here from Ence, they could even go for this fast short attack because there's only one man here. Middle's been given up now by Mousesports. They've taken some control down ramp to make up for that. Chris J and Rops pushing. It's very common to see this like bait setup with the AWP, kind of the old SK Fallen-esque thing. Oscar, oh, he gets a really good angle. Won't actually follow up the kill. The nade does a lot of damage, but it's not going to be enough. I'd be careful if you're jumping there, Ariel, because Oscar's going to hit that shot. And actually, the bomb being picked up through the spawn, they attempt to push back up, and there's first blood from Chris on that A site.
Yeah, of course. Through the stairs.
As always.
And Ariel, well, he meets Chris J for the first time in this map. And we are going to have Chris just very close up. Sergey is on the other side. This is a risky play to take. Robs, he also enters the scoreboard. Okay, called them out. They both decided to wake up, and it's only them two getting any kills in this round. Mousesports with the depth of the roster, and now, well, the hurt starts to come onto Ence's economy.
Yeah, right. 6-3 when only 3 players are really actually showing up for Mouse, and then boom. Now you've got everyone. Now you've got all the boys on the scoreboard. So this is where things could certainly get difficult for the side of Ence.
Chris has no kills. Props only has one.
Oh my God. Just man. Not a bad round. Chris J loves AWPs on this A-bomb site. Anyone who saw New York would know that.
Anybody who has ever followed CSGO will know that. It was everywhere. I think I saw it about 400 times. Yeah. I had adverts.
In like 8 different languages.
It's like scrolling through Instagram, you get an advert just like, did you see this from Chris J? It's like, yeah, I did. I will still watch it again, though.
Oh, Oscar. I like that setup from Mouse. They have 2 players watching the middle position, so Oscar can risk standing on an off angle above window watching underpass. He doesn't even have to push there. He just waits for them to come to him because he'll be able to see their legs before they see his angles, ladies and gentlemen. And Oscar, he studied trigonometry.
It's all about the angle of the dangle.
Wow. Moving on. Hence, back to a 4-on-5. They're going to desperately go for A here. No utilities even gone through. They've got a single smoke to work with. Alu, as you can see, is going for that late lurk in middle, but by this point, Rops has dropped the bomb in the open. There's plenty of time for Ence, so they can slow this down and wait for Alu, but there's still a man on short for him to deal with. That's going to be Chris J. And Oscar, how does he hit the headshot there?
Oh, this is filth. They're losing at the moment, and he's just doing stuff like that round after round. Sergey and Alu have just got to be sat there going, I don't really want to go anymore, but unfortunately they have to. Chris J will fall. Alu, not renowned for his rifling, but he's going to give this a damn good go. Oscar's holding the angle, and it won't matter. Snacks is there. 6-5, a bit of a slow start for Mousesports, but they have arisen in this round, and well, unfortunately for Ence fans, this is the eco territory.
Not much to play with at all here. They are going to have 2,400 coming into their accounts after this round, so it will be fine. Just keep at least $2,000 and you can buy up fully with at least an AK. But yeah, that AWP will not be a factor for Ence. Not now.
Unless they get a bomb plant.
Oh dear, what's this? He's got an MP7. He's going all the way to the top of middle. Mousesports, one of the teams that love using this MP7. Chris J kind of brought it back into the meta. And the rest of his team have followed in suit. Oscar, 2 kills already.
Yeah. Wow, this is just ridiculous. Complete cleanup. He's padding his stats even more. He will be put down by Alu in the end, but that was just a money-making exercise for Oscar. And that's exactly what he get, $1,800 made. And this time they got it right. Of course, they tried to do this previously, not like pushing up mid, but buying an MP7 on Rops, and it actually got punished very quickly. But yeah, just look at Oscar, Sergey, the sort of two players. Well, I suppose on Mouse Sports there's quite a few players you could expect to be at the top of the board, but for Ence, at least, Sergey is the youngster, the young blood, the young talent, and he is leading the way at the moment for the Finns. Top fragging Finnish player. Come on, Simon. Step it up.
Double AWP here for Mousesports again, man. They're loving to pull this out. At least we do have Alu on the glass cannon, in fact, so I assumed he wouldn't have gone for this, but why not? Peek into window. Oh, that's a well-timed push from Alexis B. He almost got caught from Chris J, actually checking that window spot after the flashbang. He's going to hear all the scopes as well. There's a big opening. We've got Mousesports with 2 players pushed into the T-spawn through a B apartments. Look at that. Rops is so ready for this A play. Rops is just so ready for this A play, but Ariel's going to take him down even though he was on the angle. Chris J does respond from the CT spawn, but look at the T-spawn. Look at this wraparound from Mousesports. Even Snacks is coming in from the connector. Ents don't even realize, but they are being sandwiched.
Yeah, Snacks was actually, I think he heard most of the moves because he was in the underpass there. And now, yeah, look at the flanks. They've got Palace, they've got Ramp, they've got Connector. They literally have every single position for a retake scenario. And Sergey has absolutely no idea. Sunny has the chance to enter the scoreboard once again. X7 trying to run away. He doesn't know there's a man on Ramp as well. No matter where he goes, he's backing into someone else. Alexi B is going for the flank of all-time flanks because, surprisingly, that was one of the only spots they didn't actually have covered. And he's trying to play the mind games, but Chris... wait, he turned round! That wasn't even the player the other way. I swear that was Chris facing the wrong way, span around and hit the headshot.
Yeah.
You say that like,
yeah, it's Chris J.
Yeah,
it's Chris J. Come on, 3 kills. I can't imagine what the Ents communication was like that round. Like, oh, there's one behind us. Oh, there's another behind us.
There's one Palace. Oh, there's one Ramp. Oh, everywhere.
That is a horrible round to be Ents. What a sick flank from Mousesports. Yeah, you were right. Snacks dived straight into the underpass at the beginning of the round. Then we had that deep double B flank from 2 players as well, and they split Ramp and Palace. I mean, can you get more obnoxious if you're Mousesports? That is a great way to pick up a 7th round.
Well, that is the most solo fight retake I've ever seen.
Yeah.
There was the team play was just that they had every position.
Yeah,
and just pushed it at the right time.
Yeah.
That was the team play. But the fact is, if even one of those players turned around, it could have broken apart the whole thing. So. Yeah, just incredible. Every single one of them wins their duels, and, well, yeah, now just look at the money built up for Mousesports. They've got enough that no matter what happens in this round, they'll have more money. Over the other side, they won't. And, well, looking like an A setup, more of a B-centric hold coming in early on. And, well, Sunny, well, that's as easy as it gets.
Yeah, early B fake nades, and while there was a triple setup for Mousesports, the quick rotate, I'm sure is going to be fine. They're so ready for the A push. There's the bomb, and that couldn't fly more in the face of Mousesports. They are going to have that for the taking. Sergey not going to be able to find the 1v5, as assumed. 8 rounds to Mousesports. This half is rounding out nicely.
Chris J was 007. He's now 10 and 8.
He's had like 3K rounds back to back, or something. Something stupid.
Yeah. What do you do? Like, they were already struggling just to kill Oscar. Now, I don't think Oscar's actually had many kills over the last few rounds. He just had nothing to do. There was a round where Rops and Chris just killed everyone. This is ridiculous now. They've come back from, what, 6-3, I believe?
Correct.
5 rounds in a row. Well, they're going to try and make it 6. Ents can still make this an 8-7 half, which is not bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's just the manner in which it's been done. It seems like Mousesports realize that, okay, we can't just sleep on these guys. We've got to actually put a little bit of effort in, and, well, Chris stepping up has definitely helped with that.
He's going to be flashing for Rops here. If they come out of Ramp, Rops can peek. Oh, he turns around. X7 dives around the corner, and there's finally a kill for Ents, but it's not going to go untraded. Chris J still here in the spawn. And as you said, he's really been finding his form, but not this round. The push out of Palace will save the day. The bomb dropped again. Oh, Sunny's so close. He's going to realize that as well. He dives in. X7 attempts to pick it up, but Sunny has picked up a frag instead. There's only 2 members left of Ents now, and not a lot of utility to try and cross and get this open bomb. It's about getting frags, not the plant, but luckily they have the time. Unfortunately, Alu almost caught out. Oh, that's awkward. Snacks just dives in, and Mouse Sports, they don't give Ence the room. They all peak at the same time, and that will be the round. 9-6. Sick half from Mouse Sports. It was a great start from Ence, but it fell off when star players started shining again.
I'm pretty sure that bomb drop was Oscar just shooting through the smoke. Like, because Sonny was on the edge of it, Oscar was on short, and there was a smoke down. So I'm pretty sure he just ran across. Oscar just goes bang. That's the round over just by, I want to say luck, but it's sort of like getting to the point where you just go, is it even luck anymore? Like maybe he saw even Sonny peeking through the smoke, little red dot, bang. But it's just ludicrous. Like nothing going Ence way at the moment. And Mouse Sports, they 6-3 down, win 6 rounds in a row. And although some of them came a little bit close, I don't think there was any round towards the end where I was like, yeah, no, they can't win this one. Like, not for a second.
I don't think there was any round at the end where I thought, yeah, Ence even has a grasp on this. They got a couple of 3v3s, but it seemed like Mouse would just pressure and suffocate them the second this even got close. And yeah, it was down to those 2 more players stepping up on that A bomb site, because Ence were continually going for A attacks. But now we're into the second half, and this certainly isn't a done deal. Again, Ence, you know, they won that first pistol round. They pick up another. We could see 9-9 before you know it, but Mouse Sports are very strong on this map, as we've already seen. Rops is on that P250. Chris J setting up a couple of nades outside of that A-bomb site, and that will be the end goal. We've got that close smoke. These players from jungle could even, from Connector could even run through into the jungle, but instead they boost up in the window. Is Alu watching it? That's a yes. X7 on short sees one as well, and there's a triple setup here, but it's the wrong call to make. Good shots from Ence, but this bomb should probably still be going down.
Yeah, Rops has already turned this back, but still, in a retake, a 4v3, I think Ence would definitely take that going into the latter stages of this round. It's going to be down to one of the players on Mouse Sports to try and turn the tide. And, well, this man has been wanting to do it, but X7, another great shot, getting back in towards his site. Chris J still standing close, but X7's just executing them one by one. Rops just waiting, I would say, looking fearful, but definitely not. However, the bomb's being defused. I don't think he's heard it, so this is just going to be simplistic. Nothing he could have known, didn't hear it, and it will be 9-7. A second pistol one now from Ence.
I think it's less he didn't hear it, more that he doesn't want to give away his position by randomly firing into a smoke. He'd rather take a couple of kills before that, because, again, in a 1v4, the chances that you waste all your ammo on the diffuser and then just get peeked by 2 or 3 players is pretty high. That was a near unwinnable round anyway, as soon as they got on that bomb. And yeah, Ence, again, the only problem for me is like both pistol rounds have now gone their way. Even if this goes 9-9, this is still fine for Mouse Sports. And, well, it won't go 9-9 because Mouse Sports got a bomb plant. It will go 9-8 as they eco this round by the next, and then we'll see what Mouse Sports have to test Ence. He's going to get pressured. Does line up 2, which is more than he could have asked for there, getting caught out of position. Alu tries to come in to save him, but it's actually Alexa B instead. This will be a nice clean round from Ence by and large. Good shot from Alu. That bomb, I mean, Oscar's optimistic in trying to get this. He may actually get it. Oh my god, that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, that's going to be a nice little bonus into the hands of Mouse Sports as well. They will sit with some extra cash here going forward.
I like, sorry, just about it. I like that round from Mouse Sports, right? The entire plan. I always wonder why T's go mid on like full ecos like that with P250s. But the whole point of it is to draw the B player to short and then just do that. That's the entire round for Mouse Sports. Get the bomb plant. And they do that by drawing the B player to short so Oscar can dive through, plant default, and no one can stop him. So that's actually a nice plan from Mouse Sports.
Yeah, odds now into the favor a little bit more so than we saw previously. And, well, I think we could see them go even further if Mouse Sports now win this round. Obviously, they've got the AWP, but it is glass cannon, so that SMG is going to be a little bit more effective. So will all the utility. Not actually going to do too much in the early portions of the round, and mid-control is going to go the way. Look how fast Sonny is moving towards that connector. He wants to take the challenge here. It is smoked off for now. Can't actually spot anything just yet. And in the meantime, look at the push coming in towards this B side. It's only X7 here who's good in the pistol round. He needs to be great in this one. It is still going to be a kill in towards the connector as well. So again, the man advantage sits. But the bomb is going to be going down, and there's not too much that this CT side can do about it.
The only problem is there's so many smokes from Mouse Sports here, and even though Oscar's tagged up and he could easily get wallbanged here considering his 10 HP, Mouse Sports could start throwing this utility and delaying the pushback in for Ence. Oscar, no idea how he's alive hiding in this smoke. Alex B cannot afford to lose this battle, but Oscar almost gets the shot. Now the push coming back in. The smokes have extinguished from Mouse Sports. The flames are down and the shots are in. It's only Rops left up. And Ence have found a clean retake. They may even be able to grab that AWP from the Palace as well, or the apartments.
Yeah, they're going to delay it.
Yeah, good decision.
Delay it. They had a little bit of extra time. Make sure they get that up, and that'll be a nice little throw over for Alu, who obviously the most experienced player in this team and one of the heavy hitters as well. So yeah, a very good round coming out from Ence. That will make it 9-9. Now the bomb plant again is going to mean that realistically Mouse Sports can afford to invest a little bit into this one. I don't think we'll be seeing a buy. I think it'd be a bit risky to go for anything more than pistols, but even still, we know what they can do with these pistols. But it should mean, if everything goes to plan, Ence will be back in the lead again.
One big detail to note is Oscar is 4-0 in opening duels. He's been finding a lot of picks for this Mouse Sports side. Again, top of the entire serve with 17 kills and 8 deaths. Someone who is, as we mentioned, been a little bit, slower to start things up for Mouse Sports, but definitely not in this game.
Yeah, on the other side, Chris J is actually 1 of 4.
Вот есть кол по центру карты сейчас от Сани, что было пусто, но продолжает находиться в весьма наглой позиции, чтобы, да, двоих игроков заметил, и начинается выход на А. Кстати, который максимально ожидаемый. Отличная позиция у Сергея, если честно. В такой ситуации вряд ли ее будут проверять игроки команды Маус. Ну, Снекс попробовал проверить, но здесь, опять же, только с третьего раза удается забрать Сергея, и Аллу все это время продолжал отстреливать, как, я не знаю, как охотник уток по одному. 10-9. Энс выходит вперед.
Это уже интересно.
Да, это уже интересно. Это переломный момент определенно для финнов, но для Мауса Спортс это рабочая ситуация. Они понимали, что тут уже блоки, конечно, неизбежны. А вот теперь оружейный раунд, который точно нам покажет, смогут ли финны уйти вперед еще дальше. Денег, кстати, там не будет потом у Маус, если они проиграют. У финской команды уже солидный финансовый стек образовался. Даже в случае поражения они будут закупаться. Поэтому Мауса Спорт сейчас придется стараться вдвойне. Даже если они забирают раунд, это еще им ничего не гарантирует. Так, ну что, Саня остается в смоке. Что-то знает Олег Сиби, но пропустил. Пропустил все-таки игрока атаки под окно и под коннектор. Сейчас пытаются против зигзага сыграть ребята из Маус. Но опять же, никого из игроков защиты здесь уже нету. Посмотри, какая защита плотная она сейчас стоит. Все перед ямой. Байт-сетап на яме, один человек на коврах. На Б-пленте вновь 1x7. И вот в этот момент Крис Джей начинает потихонечку продвигаться в его направлении. Если ему удастся сделать минус, это может полностью разрушить защиту команды Ence.
Вот как его назвать, если не летучий голландец? Да. Просто в прыжке четко прочувствовал позицию своего оппонента, сделал минус. Ну и, по сути, в этом раунде Крис в соло,
да, в соло
сравнивает счет на карте Мираж.
Ну вот Ence понимают, что сейчас, конечно, они не угадали. Это не повод расстраиваться, это повод пытаться сохранить оружие, и они уже приняли это решение.
Ну тут не все так просто.
Да, тут
есть люркер у команды Mous Sports. Робс, да ладно! Ну, это сложно объяснимо.
Крупным планом эстонцы, пожалуйста.
Вот, знаешь,
друзья.
если бы это был кто-то другой, ну, я не то, что говорю там в команде Mous Sports, в принципе,
вообще кто-то
игрок
другой,
такого
да.
уровня.
Но Робс, это... это, конечно,
это
жестко.
было забавно, действительно.
Так, ну что, Эрил остается в коврах.
Мы буквально вчера вспоминали вот еще, знаешь, старых игроков, которые, ну, не до конца понимали, как правильно слушать. Были такие индивидуумы, которые играли в топовых коллективах и которые могли, например, там, перепутать левое с правым ухом и играть так на чемпионате первые 8 раундов. И что? Все нормально.
Это ты сейчас про себя или нет?
Ну, это тоже смешная шутка, Сопов. Я же знаю, ты у нас юморист.
Шутка, все закончилась,
да.
Продолжаем.
Ты же предупреждай зрителя, чтобы он был готов. А то можно обхохотаться.
Так, зрители, будьте готовы, сейчас будет очень важный раунд. Будьте готовы к шутке в конце раунда.
Ну, сейчас 2018 год. Ты игрок команды Mous Sports, в принципе, которая является топовым коллективом. Ну да, это ошибка. Причем нет зрительного зала. Да, абсолютно тихо. И вот не разобраться в такой ситуации достаточно забавно.
И ты вроде как бы слышишь топот. Ну, не всесторонний, но то, что топот был на яме, это определенно факт. Итак, Маус решили здесь не... Вот, знаешь, не тянуть время, просто выпустил опасный голландец. Когда Крис Джей в деле, друзья, вся команда Ence начинает... Крис Джей просто, я поставлю. Я поставлю, ребята. Я такое ставлю. И его простили на этой установке бомбы. Хотя игроки защиты должны были этот момент прочувствовать и простреливать как минимум. Он и поставил прямо вот в этот зазор между ящиками, что в принципе иногда простреливается. Ага, а вот дефуз бомбы здесь вряд ли кто-то ожидает, но не торопится финны сразу бросаться на эту бомбу с кусачками.
А выбивание-то серьезное.
Очень серьезная, да, здесь, ну, все-таки борьба за преимущество.
Там уже бомба минируется. Да ладно, Робс успел. Вот вряд ли Оскар что-то сможет поделать. Ситуация очень сложная. X7 в ту же секунду, в которую погибает Оскар, разминирует бомбу. 11-10. В очередной раз финны врываются вперед. Что по деньгам у Mous Sports, там все вроде бы в порядке.
Да,
нет денег только у Снекса. Ну, поляк славится своим умением отыгрывать далеко, знаешь, не самыми лучшими девайсами.
Да, он
но при
может,
этом очень даже хорошо.
Может из ЦЗ, может из Дигла. Но здесь у него выбор, опять же, на чешечку падает, поэтому... Ну, кстати, еще тут дополнительная роль. Видим, есть раскидка, значит, у Mous Sports что-то будет с базой Б связано. Я, кстати, вот не понимаю, почему они не хотят играть на Б. Так часто ведь получалось действительно замечательно. Чувствуют там Криджей, как бороться с опорником. Оскар, кстати, там уже на пьедестале почета проверяет плент, но его задетектили. Там сейчас будет взрыв гранатой. Ну, опять же, много дэмэджа не нанесли. Интригующая она ситуация на центре. Два игрока атаки.
Хорошие хаешки. Сани изрядно пострадал. 53% здоровья остается у финского игрока. Но он по-прежнему жив. И все мы прекрасно знаем, на что он способен.
А вот и летущий голландец, друзья, который вновь пытается бороться с опорником базы Б. Ну, знаете, до этого у него получалось. Сейчас кинет гранату X7. О, ну это уже... Все.
Заметь, как нагло и при этом агрессивно действует Криджей.
Как он еще сумел поставить хедшот X7, его заметил, но то ли заметил, то ли нет, но все, в общем-то, произошло не совсем красиво. Олег себе спас в этом моменте, но вот что делать с игроками, которые залетают в зигзага вот так вот.
Так, а вот промах от Эву — это очень плохая ситуация для команды Ence.
Да, Снекс раздобыл себе уже девайс и занял очень приятную позицию. Ну, вот единственная проблемка, то что бомба у Оскара и...
Эву Оскара забрал.
Да.
Эву, второй минус, ликвидирует поляка. Есть информация по последнему. Сергей четко слышал передвижение Робса и спокойно его в спину забирает. 12-10. Вот теперь уже серьезные проблемы у Mous Sports. Денег нет и... Ну, вот, знаешь, игра уходит из-под контроля.
Ну, она вышла из-под контроля как раз-таки вот в прошлом раунде. Досадно, конечно. Вот знаете, по таймингу Маус заходили очень здорово. И Зигзаг успел отыграть, и Криджей красиво сыграл.
Да вот ситуация 3 в 3 абсолютно
Да.
была непонятным образом разыграна. Оскар вместо того, чтобы двигаться на базу Б с бомбой, он остался в окне и пытался выцелить соперника.
В итоге стал жертвой снайпера, да.
Нельзя сказать, что это какая-то грубейшая ошибка, но если ты уже ждешь, то должен убивать. Ну вот, Оскар промахнулся, и Финн, тот, который Эллу, выиграл эту снайперскую дуэль.
Так, ну теперь Криджей уже ждут под базой Б, понимая, что он зарекомендовал за собой эти способности прохода против опорников. Ух, как здесь жарко. Как здесь жарко. Просто плюс 35. Оскар. Ну, вот Оскару было сейчас максимально холодно.
Ну, зато хладнокровно действовал X7.
Да,
Наверное, именно от этого Оскару было холодно.
по пулечке, все в голову. Красиво играет финская команда. Друзья, это та команда, которая не попала на главное событие этого полугодия. Это тот коллектив, который готов просто готов до конца года зажечь на оставшихся ивентов, если им где-то предоставится возможность играть. Ну и мы видим прогресс. Мы видим прогресс. И, знаете, за последние несколько лет это приятные новости для финской КС-сцены, что у них наконец-то появилась конкурентоспособная команда, которая будет играть очень качественно. Так, ну вот Аллу сейчас, я не знаю как, но это... У них какие-то, знаешь, вот с Криджеем свои разборки.
Вот это было круто. Он четко понимал, как отыгрывает Сани. Наверное, в таких случаях. Вот 10 из 10, если Финн уже и проходит, то пытается залазить на подсадочку и прыгать в окно. Но Финн, который Эву этого сделать не дал. Чистый раунд от команды Ence. Мышки пытались реализовать свою заготовочку, но Ence были к этому готовы на 100%.
Матч ставится на паузу. Команда Mous Sports все плохо по деньгам. Ну, не все, но один раунд сейчас им придется слить, если они хотят играть серию закупочных уже на камбэк.
Кстати, вы знаете, тоже вспоминая слова тренера Мышек, что можно отметить? Вот Серега говорил, что в серии Best of 1 мы можем проиграть любой команде,
да.
которая находится в этом ивенте.
И любую карту. Вот.
Любую, ну,
Да.
не обязательно любую, но вот можем проиграть любой команде. Именно так звучала формулировка. В серии Best of 3, если мы дойдем до финала, ну, оказавшись все-таки в плей-офф, в финале равных нам не будет, потому что Best of 5 у Mous Sports, вот, исходя из состава участников, вряд ли кто-то сможет выиграть. То есть вот настолько хорош пул карт у мышек, что если доберутся до финала, то, по сути, должны его забирать.
Как-то так. Как-то так. Но до
Но до финала надо добраться.
До финала тут еще... Ой, добираться и добираться. И посмотри, Mous Sports решили рискнуть и отыграть в этом раунде раскидку база. Соответственно, это полноценная закупка. Только вместо Калашникова в руках у игроков этой команды будут пистолеты. Возможно, это, кстати, добавит вот непредсказуемости в их действиях и удивит немножко финский коллектив. Итак, Сергей и Эриал. Байтстап на яме. Под флешечку открываются на яму игроки атаки. Понимают, что здесь все очень-очень плотно. И Сергей второго. Криджей. Нет, Криджей не прощает. Робс тоже делает минус. 3 в 3 после размена. И... Какой
вот
провал!
Жизни
И он подпрыгнул. Он подпрыгнул.
Да, он выстрелил, а после этого уже прыгал. То есть промах был немного ранее.
Действительно, шокирующие события сейчас для финской защиты развернулись на базе А. И, знаете, это очень неприятная ситуация. Криджей вообще в дыму решил остаться до конца. Ну, финны сейчас, конечно, должны постараться на этом выбивании. Проверили они спину, проверили все.
Ну, вот глядя на экономику, финны должны идти до конца.
Есть гранаты. Так, X7 справился с Робсом. Криджей не
вот это
нашли.
уже интересно.
А вот Криджей. Сэндвич.
Ну,
да, 2 против 1. Здесь просто выход закрыт. И Mous Sports, я не знаю, вот за счет ошибки снайпера финского состава, только за счет этого они забирают этот раунд, друзья. И это важнейший раунд для них. Они были с пистолетами, и Ence должны были забирать 15-й и додавливать. Но теперь непонятно, чем это закончится. Mous Sports могут прямо сейчас вернуться в игру. Еще
да, камбэк по-прежнему Израиль.
Еще пара таких моментов, и минус мораль для команды Ence просто будет обеспечена. Так, ну хоть деньги там у финнов, наверное, остались. Сейчас самое главное забыть вот события этого раунда. Там, походу, тренер команды Mous Sports еще успевает научить наших сотрудников правильности понимания игры. На все находит время. Ну и тактическая пауза подходит к своему логическому завершению. Немножко, конечно, выдохнули сейчас Моуза после взятия этого раунда. Ситуация, в которую они попали, реально трудная.
3 в 5 на секундочку. Там 2 первых минуса сделали Ence в яме. После этого сумели развернуть Mous Sports все происходящее в прошлом раунде. Ну и не дать команде Ence забрать 15-й раунд. Ну, как раз-таки то, о чем мы еще говорили, что денег у финнов более чем достаточно. Ence будут продолжать закупаться. Это будет полная оружейная закупка. Никаких проблем с бай-сетапом у Ence быть не должно.
Так, смотрим. Снайперская у Аллу, и он решил отыграть в этом раунде позицию в коннекторе. Опять же ждет попытку прохода зигзага. Игроки атаки, кстати, сразу нажали на центр. Криджей отправили на Б. Некс вместе с двумя тиммейтами. Видимо, он будет играть вот роль открывающего на заходе, поэтому сейчас, конечно, очень много ответственности ляжет на его плечи, но что-то Mous Sports передумали и решили отойти. Контролировали центр, не встретили никакой агрессии. Криджей тоже отходит. Ну и, походу, это будет... Да, это будет раскидка апланта, скорее всего. Ну, у Mous это получается. Почему бы и нет? Почему бы и нет? Счет как раз такой, что простой дефолтный раунд может сработать. Никто никого здесь уже удивлять не будет. Трайхард от Ence, 2 на Б. Один человек в упоре. При этом ковры не проверяются. И все, да. Раскидка апланта. Выход в Сергея. Ни одной агрессивной позиции у команды Ence на апланте нету. Соответственно, расчет, видимо, строго на выбивание.
Ну, вроде бы пока что очень даже интересно смотрится. Выход без разменов.
А вот будет ли выход? Вот еще в чем вопрос. Наверное, наверное, об этом
30 секунд до конца. Mous Sports занимают позиции апланта, постараются установить бомбу. Ну, мы где-то такое уже увидели. Выбивание оформляли ребята из Ence. Получится ли повторить успех одного из прошлых раундов?
3 в 3. Ситуацию сейчас спасает для Маус, конечно же, во-первых, Оскар. Во-вторых, человек, который еще может зайти со спины. Это номер 2. Но его читают, X7.
Забирает Санни.
И здесь Оскар вынужден просто рвать как лев. Он прыгает на головы, делает максимально неадекватный мув. Застает врасплох игрока защиты. И Робс закрывает этот раунд. Что за безобразие у Ence происходит при выбивании?
Да уж, вроде бы раздобыли большинство, но вот дальше агрессия от Оскара была максимально, ну вот знаешь, непредсказуемой. Именно такие моменты решают исходы поединков. Если бы закрыто продолжали действовать Моуза, скорее всего бы удержать выбивание от Ence не сумели. Ну вот Оскар что-то знает, что-то умеет и грамотно это реализует. Еще одна закупка для финнов на самые, по-моему, что ни на есть последние деньги. 2 ВП, 3 кольта, ну вот. Опять-таки же никаких проблем с экономикой у Ence в этом раунде нет.
Так. Эриал, взрыв на центр, под флешечку минус сделан, все, моментально уходит, преимущество раздобыто.
Ну, знаешь, это называется выводы. Вот понимают финны, что все-таки запускать мышек на один из плантов без размена...
Ну да, 5 в 5 или хотя бы, не знаю, в равенстве.
Это всегда риск.
Это всегда не то, что риск, это смерть в конце раунда, потому что есть такие персонажи, как Оскар, которые вроде играют достаточно тайтово, не знаю, всю атаку, а потом он вот раз прыгнул, убил, ушел обратно, и вот что ты сделаешь? Ничего.
Так, ну что, еще одна атака на базу А. Давайте смотреть, чем закончится она.
Ну что, вот сможет ли Аллу сейчас сыграть так же красиво, как Оскар в прошлом раунде? Потому что от него зависит судьба вообще здесь и установки бомбы и планта. Ну, видимо, бомба будет ставиться снова на коннектор. В коннекторе, правда, 3 игрока защиты. Маус на этот раз не совсем в
не дали
приятной
поставить
ситуации.
бомбу.
Да,
Сергей
да,
забирает Снакса, Робс, минус Эллу. Это 3 в 4, 40 секунд в распоряжении Mous.
Ну и теперь агрессия здесь не совсем. Ох, как Оскару накинули. Он должен был делать минус, но в итоге отошел. И 3 в 2. 3 в 2. Робс уравнивает, можно сказать, сейчас шансы, если учесть то, что все игроки финской команды выбивают с одной стороны. Оскар.
Размен. Робс последний. 23% здоровья. 20 секунд до конца. Робс. Установка бомбы.
23. Это очень-очень... И спалился. Да, он спалил позицию, выдал свое местоположение. Правда, отыграл красиво под флешку, но не прочитал действия Сергея, который обходил за фаербоксом. И в итоге Сергей забирает этот раунд. Но мне почему-то за финнов не радостно. Особенно глядя на экономику команды Mous, мне за них не радостно.
Ну да,
ой,
денег
как,
там.
Да, ой, как не радостно. Чем дальше, тем сложнее.
Сегодня, кстати, мы наблюдали одну очень интересную игру на овертаймах. Это была заруба за выживание. Команда Спрут против Hellraisers. Там были 2 серии овертаймов. Возможно, и здесь мы будем наблюдать допы. Но это только в том случае, если Моуза соберутся и возьмут 3 раунда подряд.
Получится у них это или нет, это, конечно, тот еще вопрос. Но мы здесь за этим, чтобы получить ответ на этот вопрос. Итак, что будут делать Моуза после паузы? Как дальше будут двигаться Ence? Возможно, кстати, сейчас тот момент, когда нужно где-то попытаться вновь нажать агрессивно, как произошло по событиям прошлого раунда. Там все начиналось с того, что Ence захватили численное преимущество в начале, сделав выпад коннектора. А, тут маг 10, АВП, калаш, тихий убийца.
3 игрока у финской команды на Б-пункте.
Но им это еще пока ничего не гарантирует, потому... По-моему, песенка закончилась, да? Ты здесь абсолютно прав.
Ну, шикарно отыгрывают Ence. Карту Мираж действительно показали, что не боятся авторитетов.
Да.
Как бы грозно не звучало название команды Mous, сегодня финны играли лучше.
Ну и Оскар последний, у него нет дробовик, у него АВП, соответственно, в такой ситуации реализовать снайперскую винтовку — это задача из невозможных. Алекси Би, последний фраг, отличный хедшот. Ну и Ence выигрывают на этой карте у команды Mous, просто красавчики.